So we are here in the dev server, guys, and let's take a look on the new top tier jet for the Soviets. The SU-30SM is here, and it's probably one of the most interesting aircraft in the game. It is one of the most unique aircraft in the game. First things first, obviously, B-placed version of the SU-27. It does have, this is a little bit bugged, but it does have the AL-30FP, which is pretty much the same engine as the S variant of the SU-27, okay? The only main difference that this engine has is that it has thrust vectoring that we're gonna show to you guys, but it is underpowered compared to the SM, for example, okay? It has the BARS radar, the N011M, which is a very interesting radar. It is basically if I'm not mistaken, it's the first hybrid radar between a mechanical scanned array and passively scanned electronic scanned array radar. So very advanced, of course. We have the L150-30, which is the Pastel, if I'm not mistaken. So a pretty good aircraft overall, right? The missiles are probably the most interesting thing in the game. So of the aircraft, I mean, R-73s, of course, on the wingtips. Then look at this baby. Yes, the R-77-1 is here, guys. What is the main difference of this missile? And we're gonna test these missiles afterwards, okay? But it has more range. That's the major thing, okay? So the SM, I think it's the only aircraft that it's getting this, has the new missiles, okay? You can still take your R-27ETs. I would still take something like that. But yeah, look at this. R-77s. R-77s, R-77s, R-77, and R-77. And look how many missiles this thing can carry. Yes, it can carry 14 missiles, guys. 14 missiles, double pylons in the middle, and then 10 other pylons, which is crazy. It is really, really crazy. You can still take like 12 R-77s. But, I mean, you already are carrying 10 of them. I would carry 2, you know, ETs just for the sake of it. In the air-to-ground role, you have a lot of stuff as well. Like, for example, I would take this, for example. But yeah, non-guided stuff, of course, the FOBs, you know, they are all here, obviously. The ZOBs, we have a lot of FOBs and ZOBs over here. Of course, we have the rockets, the S8, the S13, the S25s, double pylons for the S8s and S13s as well, for the S25s as well, so pretty good. In these outer pylons, you can take the KH-38MT and the ML. So yes, the MT is here, you can take a lot of them, we're gonna check it out. The UPOBs, of course, GPS, glide bombs, COBs, you know, the normal COBs, laser guided, TV guided, the Grom-2, we have the KH-29s, the TD and L, so a lot of missiles, a lot of bombs, and as you see, a lot of KH-38. So here you can have the larger ones, the 1,500 kilogram COBs and UPOBs, you know, so that's pretty cool as well, but you can take more KH-38s. And then here you can take more or less the same, so more KH-38s. And then, where is it? Grom, UPOBs, COBs, you can take everything over here. I would take probably these, and then probably these. This would be my air-to-ground roll. Look at this, 6 KH-38s. You still have 6 R-77-1s and 2 R-73. So it is a pretty amazing aircraft in the air-to-ground roll. But you also have the ability, let me find, where is it? It's under here, maybe? I don't remember now. Yeah, here. The T220 pod as well, which is a TV IR, you know, pod as well. So very, very good payload and a very interesting aircraft. So let's fly a little bit of the thing. And in a thing, just one, no camos, of course, for now. 14.0, okay? And here are the stats for you. So let's test this thing. Test flight. Can take a pretty good amount of fuel. Yeah, you're not gonna need more than that. And of course, one of the main features of this thing is the thrust vectoring, of course, right, guys? So it is indeed an aircraft that has this ability, which is pretty interesting. We have here the cockpit, which is a very modern cockpit of the Russians. So very, very cool. You can see we have a lot of MFDs over here that you, by the way, can change it up, of course. So, for example, where is it? 2. You can take like the RWR, navigation. That one can be the camera, or the RWR, or the horizontal horizon, artificial stuff. And that one apparently is fixed for the radar, so pretty good. Look at the HUD, very modern one, you know, so a very, very cool aircraft. Yeah, the canards, as you see, and of course, there's something wrong here. Yeah, see, we have thrust vectoring, as you see right there. So let's take it off. We are very heavy here. We are gonna waste these missiles. But look at this. This is very, very cool. So it has the helmet mounted display, or sight, basically, right? Flaps up, gear up, and yeah. So basically, yeah, we have thrust vectoring. The first aircraft to have this normal thrust vectoring. I mean, technically the Harriers have thrust vectoring, but you know what I mean, right? A normal fighter having thrust vectoring, which is pretty good, and it makes this aircraft, even in a very heavy load like this, be able to turn very well. And even with the new, like, Cobra button there, you can do some amazing maneuvers with this thing. I'm gonna crash. Oh my god, yes. But you get the idea, right? Even very heavy, the aircraft can still do a lot of maneuvers that are very, very, very mobile and agile, right? And you don't have to go to the full real control to do your Cobras and stuff. So it is a pretty interesting button to have, and it's kind of realistic. It is kind of how it works in real life, you know. The pilots have basically a button in the cockpit that they can click, and it will, you know, take off the AOA limiters of these things, right? So it is a pretty interesting aircraft. But the maneuverability, we're gonna check it out later. Here is the radar. The Bars radar is probably the best radar the Russians will have right now. Has pulse doppler, search, TWS, pulse doppler, high PIF, search, TWS, high PIF, of course ground search and ground TWS, okay? So the normal modes of Russian radars. And of course, it is a PESA radar. Of course, it's still pulse doppler, but yeah, it's very quick on the amount of, you know, scan that it can do, as you see, because it's PESA, right? And it updates automatically where the target is without having to look directly to the target. So you can see it has a very smooth operation of the of where the radar, you know, or the target are, basically, right? So yeah, let's test the new missile, the R-77-1, guys. I'm gonna properly test this thing, but indeed, this missile will have a lot more energy than the R-77s, okay? Apparently, they were completely changed. I didn't look into the files yet, but it is a much, much better missile now, okay? You also have your, of course, IRST over here, which also helps a lot, right? So, of course, we have to have the lock over here. And of course, since you have 14 missiles, man, you can just spam these things. Look how many missiles we have here. We have, of course, even the IR missiles. Yeah, so it's a lot of missiles, guys. It's a lot of missiles. A lot of missiles. And the radar itself, I think it's supposed to be looking a little bit more than 80 degrees to the sides. I think it's supposed to be 90 or 100. And I think PVVD, if I'm not mistaken, said something about that, okay? And how is the maneuverability of this thing? This is probably the major thing that everybody wants to see. So the thing about this aircraft is that it is a bit underpowered if you compare to the SM SU-27, okay? It is having SU-27S's level of performance, okay? But it is still very agile because of the thrust vectoring and because of the new mode and the canards and stuff. So you can do some interesting maneuvers like the Super Cobra, for example, like that. And it's a lot easier to do than before. And you can control the aircraft in a better way to deal with the things, right? With the targets. So, yeah, it's just a much better an easier aircraft to do all the major maneuvers that these aircraft do, okay? So let's, for example, let's try to do the Cockpit. I couldn't do the Cockpit yet, but yeah, it can do the Cockpit even. Just like the SU-34, but in a better way, in an easier way, right? It can control better the lower airspeeds as well. Let's get... Oh, I probably need a little bit of flap to do the Cockpit. Let's try again. 600 is good to do the Cockpit. Almost. Yeah, kind of a Cockpit, but you can do the Cockpit as well. I just need to get used to the new controls here doing that. But yeah, as you see, it can save you from crashing as well, because you can just point to the ground, you know. So let's try to do it again. Let me just waste, like, deploy the missiles and stuff. Hold up, hold up. I don't know. I have to fly a little bit more. Yeah, maybe? Now? Yeah. Now I managed to do it. And we have to control the aircraft afterwards, right? So you can do the Cockpit, which is the 360 Cobra, basically, very easily. You just have to get used to it because it's different controls, right? So the aircraft, you can see, look at this. I mean, I'm very light right now. You can still accelerate pretty okay, but if you compare it to something like the Eurofighter and stuff, it will be a lot slower. It is a heavier aircraft, and I think it's the major thing that you have to worry about here, right? Is that although yes, you do have your abilities of, you know, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, you can do that to save yourself. It does have these abilities of pulling amazing AOAs and shooting missiles. You still have a little bit of... to keep in mind that this thing will lose a lot of energy while turning, okay? So, let's see... You can do this and then shoot a missile, for example. I don't know. Kind of crazy, but... yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I'm dead. So basically this is it, guys. It's an aircraft that it is very similar to what we already have. Again, like I said, I need to properly test this missile. But they are saying, people are saying that it's much better than the other aircraft. Let me just do one thing and I will go to StatShark with you guys to see if it's there. I mean, hold up. I mean, look at this, man. Oh my god. Oh my god, no! Oh my god. Yeah, but you get the idea, right? Cockpit all the way, man. Holy mother. So here we are in StatShark. I don't think it's updated with the real, like, R-77-1 files and stuff. But you can already see that, I know sometimes this is not really, like, perfect, StatShark, but you can already see that the -1, I mean, even with the older files, which I think StatShark is using, it is very similar to the A120, as you see over here, right? So it should be better. It should be better. It's not by much. It's not a complete difference and everything, but it should be a little bit better, impacting almost at the same time, meaning that the missiles, they have basically the same amount of speed, basically, right? Target horizontal distance, missile horizontal distance. So you can already see here, for example, at a higher altitude, it has a very similar range, 55 kilometers, I think, of range at these altitudes. And yeah, I mean, we can even do this to 100, to make sure what is the maximum possible range. And even the R-77-1 appears to have more range, as you see, right? So yeah, like I said, I don't think it's ready yet. We can see the actual speed of the missile. You can see that the energy is dropping a lot faster than the A120, so it means that, of course, it has a lot more drag, but it turns more as well, right? And the A120 has less drag, but it turns less. But it is better than the R-77, right? So since the A120 basically had more energy, apart from like 4 or 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, something like that. Yeah, 7-8 kilometers compared to the A120. The R-77-1 would lose that in 36 kilometers. So it is much better, but I don't think it's going to be OP. It's just a better R-77 that we already know, okay? And that's pretty much it, guys. Just a first look on the SU-30SM. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. I'm gonna do more videos on it, don't you worry. The dev server is open for a very long time, so yeah, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see you.